make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
It's on him. You know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. You know, we can't go down to 135. So, you know, he would have to come up. And, you know, he can get this work anytime he ready.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man.
Shakur Stevenson is reportedly set to face Devin Haney at 140. He accepts rehydration conditions and remains completely confident that his skills surpass every challenger.
These guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clauses. I don't even do that.
Yeah.
But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on?
Devin Haney insists the fight with Shakur Stevenson will happen, showing determination and commitment, making it clear he truly wants this bout.
At 135. You can't, you know, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think it.
You think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
I mean, we're all of us is close to the same size. You know, we're all growing together. We're all like, you know, getting bigger. Well, so, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said. It's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But yeah, no, I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible. We tried to.
Shakur Stevenson says he isn't afraid of Devin Haney, but Devin's team might falsely claim Shakur is intentionally avoiding the fight.
Devin Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand, you know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with like, and this is not even Devin fault, because Devin is very respectful of my game, and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can?
Shakur Stevenson feels he stands far above everyone, believing no boxer can beat him and that Devin does not have the power to stop him.
A fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you? So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself. And,
for sure.
But for me, I'm willing
but
to
do
make
you
the
see
fight
it
happen.
as it being that could, you know, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot is like at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Devin Haney is fully focused on proving who he is and wants big fights like Shakur Stevenson to show the world how great he really is.
Not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight at 140, and then when the time is right, then, you know, I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see, though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's
Bill Haney says they will not come down and wait. Anyone who wants the fight has to move up to 140.
Didn't become undisputed yet. They didn't mention the franchise belt, which directly impacted Devin's career early on, right? And it seemed like, I was saying this on my live earlier, you tell me what you think about this, but it seems to me like there's a lot of people that have tried to block y'all ambition, right? Between you signed to the wrong company, you know, Loma not taking the Devin fight, Tio not taking the Devin fight, Rolly saying he just don't want to fight Devin. Do you see that? Like, how do you see that? You know, as far as like, people know you're ambitious, they know you want to be unified, they know you want to be undisputed. So they put all these obstacles up and they make it hard for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. I think it's been historic in a way.
He also says the fight can happen whenever the challenger is ready.
So we must keep our composure and our patience and understand that it's part of the process when you're that good. You know what I mean? We can't say it any other way. You know, they're running out of narratives. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's what the people want to see. We don't never say, okay, you know, well, this guy has done something wrong or he did bad business. So, you know, we'll never do it. Obviously, you know, when we go through negotiations and we spend time in there, whether it's put something together for Richard Hitchinson, for him to come back later and to say, you know, yeah, I want that fight. Well, when we were trying to make the fight, we couldn't. You didn't want to negotiate. You went somewhere else. When we were negotiating with Shakur Stevenson, instead of him negotiating with us, he said that he's going to go somewhere.
Tim Bradley believes Shakur Stevenson has the chance to go beyond even Terrence Crawford in boxing history. He says Crawford is already a legend in the sport and belongs among the greatest ever as a 5-division champion with amazing achievements. Bradley feels Shakur has the same kind of talent and sharp skills that could take him even higher. He explains this is not about copying Crawford's undisputed titles or moving through many weight classes. It is about chances that Crawford never had because of boxing politics back then. Bradley says if people like Turkey Alashik were around earlier to connect promoters, then big fights with names like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and Eudenis Ugas could have happened sooner and made Crawford's legacy even bigger.
Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terrence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the stance of becoming 3-time undisputed and, you know, going up to, you know, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. You know, he already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in a sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. You know, Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you know, you have guys like Turkey Alashik that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, you know, make these.
With this in view, Shakur is stepping into a time where strong fighters from 130 to 135 pounds are easier to reach, giving him steady chances to face elite competition. Fighters like Devin Haney and Lamont Roach and O'Shaquie Foster and Gary Russell Jr. and Dalton Smith and Brian Garcia and others are all possible opponents for Shakur. Bradley stresses that Shakur not only owns the ability to stand with these fighters but also has the power to beat them, which would lock in his legacy and could even place him above Crawford in impact and success.
He was around when Crawford was on his climb. You know, when Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and Danny Garcia and Ugas and, you know, he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run and, you know, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, you know, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his ledger, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today. You know, bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, you know, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters, hovering around 135, 130, you know, guys like, you know, O'Shaquie Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big.
There is one major challenge standing in the way, but watching these two fighters shows that without cheating they are very unlikely to lose. Because of this, Devin Haney quickly answers Shakur and Shakur fires back at Devin. This back and forth shows the energy between elite fighters at the top. Early on there was talk about the Four Kings 2.0 with Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Gervonta Davis, and people compared them to the famous era of Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roberto Duran.
That, I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose. Right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin. Right? Again, we had the initial Four Kings. It was Devin, Ryan, T.O., and Tank Davis. Right? It was supposed to be the Four Kings 2.0. From the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto.
It is interesting that Wilfred Benitez is often left out of talks about that era, even though he beat Roberto Duran, who struggled against several of the original Four Kings. Duran only beat Sugar Ray Leonard once and was stopped badly by Hearns and clearly beaten by Hagler, and also lost to Benitez. Even with these wins, Benitez stayed in the shadow. In the same way, fighters like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and Teofimo Lopez have often taken the spotlight away from Shakur Stevenson. Now Stevenson is starting to stand out, especially after his strong win over Teofimo Lopez. At the same time, Tank Davis, facing legal problems and avoiding fights, is opening new paths and changing the shape of modern boxing.
This is Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost. He quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and T.O., overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined the light.
Bernie Thawboxer responds to the Shakur Stevenson vs. Devin Haney fight by pointing out the achievements and legacies of both fighters. Shakur is now a 4-division world champion, a 2-time lineal champion, and a 2-time Ring Magazine title holder. He also became a 2-time unified champion at 130 pounds after defeating top-level opponents like Teofimo Lopez, who always performs at his best.
Have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, I don't even know if I would have said all that about Conor being right then, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money for the fight. He been saying that. And now he came through victorious. I think he really wants that money for that fight. He wants the money.
Devin Haney, on the other hand, is a 3-division world champion and was once undisputed. Bernie stresses that if Shakur wants to face Devin, he should do it without delay. Taking on Devin at his peak would leave no excuses and guarantee Shakur full recognition for a huge accomplishment. Bernie says both fighters are elite, but beating Devin in his prime would strengthen Shakur Stevenson's legacy as one of the best of his generation, showing his skill, determination, and championship-level ability.
Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion. So he's a 2-time Ring Magazine winner. 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring, far as with the WBO, he was unified at 130. So he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion. Beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion. Had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion. And that was it. He was in his prime too. Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140. Not taken away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47, they were saying. Lomachenko was a little older and small.
Shakur Stevenson recently put on an impressive performance against Teofimo Lopez, and Busiai Ennis points out just how amazing it was, especially since Shakur fought almost with one hand. His jab, the key punch in boxing, was sharp and accurate, controlling distance perfectly. Every move he made was planned and effective, showing technical skill that made Lopez look inexperienced despite his talent and experience. Many critics had questioned Shakur's record, saying he had not faced top fighters, but against Lopez he proved them all wrong. Technically, Shakur did everything flawlessly, and Lopez struggled simply because he was up against Shakur Stevenson.
I've seen greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man. He did everything right, man.
A lot of people thought it would be a tough fight because Teal's athletic, Teal's experienced, he's fought on a high level. And, you know, they were critical of Shakur. Oh, he ain't fought nobody, this and that.
Yeah.
He made Teal look like everybody else.
Made him look like an amateur. Man, he looked like an amateur. Yes.
Now, technically, what did you see? Right? Where did Teal go wrong in that fight?
Where he went wrong?
Yeah.
Fighting Shakur. That's where he went wrong. Fighting Shakur. I knew he just running his mouth. He just was talking, man. I knew that from the beginning.
Even with his left hand slightly injured, Shakur stayed in control of the fight, using his jab constantly and only rarely relying on his left hand because of the injury. Buzzy points out that Shakur could have stopped the fight if he wanted to. Still, he handled the match smartly despite the pain. The performance showed not just his skill but also his ring intelligence and calmness. Fans in Philly and beyond saw a masterclass with Shakur, proving he is one of boxing's best. Even while injured, he ran the fight, showing that true greatness comes from skill, heart, and focus, not perfect conditions.
I stopped his shooting, but Shakur hurt his left hand. His left hand was hurt. If you notice, he was using that jab a lot.
Yeah, jab and then the hook.
And he threw the left hand every now and then. Because I was screaming out. Everybody said they heard me in Philly.
Yo, we can hear you on the TV. Yo.
Yeah, that's my young buck. You know what I mean? And I was telling him, throw that straight left hand. Then I noticed when he did throw it, he wasn't throwing it real hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he looked spectacular, man. You know what I mean? He can't ask for nothing more, man. And with me, I don't care about what people say, man. They always want to talk about you and say, oh, he should have did this, should have did that. He did everything that he was supposed to do, and he did it.
The fight between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney is one fans cannot wait to see. Both bring amazing skill, speed, and determination, making every moment in the ring tense and unpredictable. Supporters are studying their styles and past fights, debating who will win. Every punch and movement matters, and the stakes are extremely high. Shakur's technical skill meets Devin's speed and power, creating a matchup full of excitement. The energy around this fight is intense, and it could define both fighters' careers, giving one of the most unforgettable matches in recent boxing.
Fight that even remotely sparks my interest for Shakur Stevenson is this guy right here, Devin Haney. Look at them, they're the same size. Obviously, Devin's moved up to 147. Shakur demands a catch weight. We'll see if Devin goes for the bait, because I think Shakur Stevenson, there's no doubt about it, he has the skills to compete at 147, to be 5-weight division champion. I feel like that.
The only fight that really catches my attention for Shakur Stevenson is this guy, Devin Haney. Look at them, they're the same size. Devin has moved up to 147 and Shakur is asking for a catch weight. We'll see if Devin takes the bait, because there's no doubt Shakur has the skills to compete at 147 and become a 5-division champion. That would be incredible. That's it for today's video, so stay tuned until next time.